With me is the new, redesigned Alienware M16R2 for 2024. It is noticeably smaller than prior years, and since we really liked the thinner Alienware X16 from last year, we wanted to see what this one was like. In particular, does its thicker chassis solve the number one issue that we had with that other laptop, which was that it always felt very warm to the touch? Look, I value your time, you guys know that, so here's what we found. The Alienware M16R2 is a very good gaming laptop. In fact, I've been doing a bit of gaming recently myself, and out of all the laptops in the studio right now, this is the one that I found myself regularly reaching for. That's because it delivers a very comfortable gaming experience. This chassis is the right size to adequately cool the Intel Core Ultra processor and RTX 4070 inside. And because of that, when gaming, this laptop doesn't get uncomfortably warm to the touch, and the fan noise is reasonable. The display is also very good for gaming, the keyboard is comfortable, and its memory storage and Wi-Fi are upgradable. Finally, the price is fair compared to other premium gaming laptops like those from Razer. But unfortunately, there are a lot of gotchas that may seem minor in isolation, but do add up to this laptop just not reaching its full potential. For example, it maxes out at an RTX 4070, so it will underperform other 16-inch gaming laptops with more powerful graphics. Anyway, if this sounds like a laptop that you're interested in, here's the rest of the video. The M16, as I said, has been redesigned, and it is substantially smaller this year. Gone is the back part of the laptop that protruded out. The whole form factor is around 15% less than prior years. Compared to the X16, which is supposed to be Alienware's thinner and more premium range, this laptop has a substantially smaller footprint, and it's only a little bit thicker. Because of this laptop now fits into a regular size backpack, while the prior 16-inch Alienwares did not. And when compared to other 16-inch gaming laptops like Asus Predator Helios Neo 16, this laptop is substantially more compact. However, just like Alienwares are known for, this laptop is still heavy. It's a full weight class heavier than thin and light gaming laptops like the G16 or the Legion Slim 7i. But all is not lost. It is a decent amount lighter than other full-size 16-inch gaming laptops like the X16 and the Predator I just mentioned. Unfortunately, this laptop doesn't deliver that tank-like build quality of Alienwares of old. There is a little bit of screen flex and even some minor chassis flex. The Predator 16 is a bit more rigid than this one. That being said, the build quality is good enough. One thing I do love about this laptop is the soft touch rubber coating around the entire keyboard deck, including the keys. It feels so nice to touch, and it doesn't pick up oily fingerprints. Overall, the laptop looks understated and good enough, but nothing special. Our unit has the Intel Core Ultra 7 processor inside and a maxed out 140W RTX 4070. There is a configuration available with a faster Core Ultra 9. As I said, this chassis is the correct size to cool these components. We've seen many laptops this year with these components inside much smaller chassis. This has resulted in either the performance having to be throttled, like what we saw in the HP Omen Transcend 14, or annoying fan noise like what we saw in the Asus G16. Not in this case. This chassis allows these components to run extremely close to their full performance, even on the default balanced performance mode. That's right, there is no need to use the laptop's performance or overdrive modes. All those modes do is raise the fan noise for pretty much no real performance gain. In fact, overdrive mode should be ignored completely. It ramps the fans up to 66 decibels, which is insanely loud, and as I said, it doesn't really do anything for the M16's performance. Alright, in Geekbench, which tests a variety of short-running performance tasks, the Core Ultra 7 disappoints. Every other common processor found in a gaming laptop outperforms it. However, when we look at Cinebench, which tests the processor when it's maxed out, the Alienware really flexes its muscles due to that beefy cooling solution. It performs well. It beats the Intel 13th Gen i9H series in the Alienware X16, and its Ultra 7 processor gets very close to the Ultra 9 in the Asus G16 and the Yoga Pro 9i. When looking at power draw, you can see why. This laptop consistently feeds its processor over 80 watts, significantly more power than those laptops can sustain. Seeing these numbers, I'd strongly recommend getting this laptop with an Ultra 9 processor. You just don't see any performance gains from feeding this Ultra 7 that much power. But for your information, this Ultra 7 processor is more efficient than the older Intel 13th Gen i9 in the Alienware X16, as it performs around the same, but it consumes less power. During this maxed out CPU test, the laptop felt noticeably warm, but I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable. Inside the laptop, the CPU can hit 103 degrees, but it averages at 82. Fan noise was definitely loud, but it wasn't high-pitched like on the Asus G16. So, this laptop was much more bearable than that one. Graphics performance is as good as you're going to get from a laptop with an RTX 4070. The Predator Helios Neo 16 may look like it performs better, but that is due to its beefier CPU, not its graphics. In Cyberpunk, we were able to get above 60 frames per second in our 1440 resolution test at max settings. So, if you're willing to turn down some of the settings, you should comfortably get above 60 frames per second. And if you are playing a game that supports Nvidia's excellent DLSS frame generation, you should be able to get even more. That being said, the lack of an option to upgrade to at least an RTX 4080 definitely holds this laptop back. If you are wondering if this laptop has a Mux Switch, Advanced Optimus, G-Sync and even FreeSync, it's a yes to all of them. And while gaming, the keyboard deck did not get warm, which is a relief. However, fan noise was loud. That being said, you can play games on balance mode and it's a little quieter for a very minimal drop in performance. And the laptop's fan noise is just not high pitched, so it's less noticeable than other competitors like the Asus G16. Alright, during light use, like writing the script for this very video, this laptop was very snappy. It did feel a little warm to the touch though during these tasks, but on the positive side, it was dead silent. Now, when running on battery, performance does drop by a good amount, but it's still decent for a gaming laptop. To test battery life, while running high-performance tasks, we ran Cinebench on a loop for 30 minutes. We got over 60% remaining, which is about as good as you're going to get. For a more realistic battery test, we played a Netflix movie over Wi-Fi for 4 hours. That's with the screen dimmed to 200 nits on best battery life settings. We got 54% remaining, indicating around 8 hours for this use case. Although this isn't great, it's about what we'd expect for a gaming laptop. The display is a 2560 by 1600 resolution 240Hz 3 millisecond refresh rate panel. We measured it at 376 nits of brightness, much higher than the advertised 300, which is great. But for a laptop in this price range, I'm disappointed. The display should be brighter. Other competing and cheaper laptops like the Legion Slim 7 have included a 500 nit panel for several years now. Even though the panel is matte and not reflective, in a bright room, I found myself regularly pressing the brightness up button trying to get more out of it. Next, my unit exhibited a little bit of backlight bleed in the bottom part of the screen. And the colours, while accurate for viewing content on screen, are bad for professional colour work. I hate how Dell does this. They are trying to push creators and other professionals to buy their XPS line, which have brighter screens with a wider colour gamut. However, those laptops don't have graphics good enough to game on, so you're forced to choose. I've told Dell's product team directly, most people do not buy a laptop just for gaming. They work or study on it and then game on it on the side. It's not okay to put nerfed panels in a laptop that costs this much. The keyboard is very comfortable with ample key travel. Each key is individually RGB lit and you're easily able to make out both the primary and secondary functions. Unfortunately, you can't upgrade it to the same Cherry MX keyboard available on the Alienware X16. That keyboard is the best keyboard we've ever used. But even though this keyboard is comfortable, it has a non-standard layout. The middle rows have been shifted to the left to make room for the dedicated mic and volume buttons. I experienced lots of keyboard mispresses because of this. Keys like the Enter or Backspace key are sacred. They just shouldn't be moved from their normal positions. These audio keys should be somewhere else. The trackpad is very mediocre for a laptop at this price point. Tracking isn't the smoothest and that makes it feel less accurate than on other laptops. However, most buyers are probably going to use an external mouse anyway. Now, onto ports. The available ports and their speeds are on screen right now. I do like that several infrequently used ones are placed out of the way at the back of the laptop, such as the HDMI and DC charge port. But as a whole, the port locations suck. There are several ports placed far down the left and right side of the laptop that could get in the way of your mouse. If you're left-handed, for example, plugging a regular network cable into the Ethernet port will definitely get in the way of your mouse. So you'll need to buy a right-angled Ethernet cable, which should just not be necessary. Same goes for the USB-A ports on the right side. And when it comes to the USB-C ports, all around the back, it would have been nice to at least have one on the side for easier access. Plus, why is there a micro SD card reader in a laptop this large? There should be a full-sized one. On the positives, you can connect an external monitor directly to the dedicated GPU via the HDMI or one of the two USB-C ports. Secondly, the Ethernet port does support 2.5 gig speeds. And lastly, for days you don't require the full performance out of this laptop, it supports USB-C charging, so you can just carry a smaller charger with you. The sound isn't great. The speakers don't get as loud as they should, and they completely lack bass. Here's the webcam of the Alienware M16R2 in the best possible lighting conditions and it isn't good. Alright, this laptop comes with Alienware's new Command Center software. I did not find it easy to use at all. Numerous times I had to look up how to do something simple, like set a manual fan curve. And even when I finally worked out how to do that, it didn't work. And it didn't give me the info that I was looking for. For example, if you are manually configuring the fan speed, you can no longer see the speeds that the fans are currently running at, which is important. Finally, stability. It is rare that I have to talk about this. Only 2 brands of laptops that I've had on this channel over the last couple of years have had stability issues, Dell and Razer. While playing a game of League of Legends, this laptop literally powered off mid-game and restarted. It only happened once and it never happened again, but it did happen. And one day, I opened up the laptop and the Wi-Fi was completely not there. I don't mean it was turned off, it was literally not even an option. I had to restart the machine. So clearly, Dell still needs to work on their quality control. So let's start to wrap by talking about pricing. For the configurations that I'd consider, this laptop is reasonably priced. It ranges from an MSRP of around $1,500 for the Core Ultra 7 with an RTX 4060 to a little over $2,000 for the Core Ultra 9 version with an RTX 4070. Look, it's not the cheapest laptop out there with these components, but it's also not the most expensive, especially considering the overall quality you get from this device. So, as I said in the intro, the Alienware M16R2 is a very good gaming laptop. The positive is that it delivers a really comfortable gaming experience. The keyboard is very comfortable, the soft material on the palm rest feels nice, the fan noise is not obnoxious, and the heat you feel is manageable. Plus, you get the best possible performance out of these components. That being said, its gaming performance is around mid-range for a laptop this size. And because of the gotchas with this laptop, it fails to live up to its full potential of being a must-buy. Well, that's all I got. Make sure to check out our website for the best prices on this laptop as well as the other laptops that we recommend for different types of users. Make sure to get subscribed, smash that like button, click the notification bell. Not only does it help this channel grow, which means that we can create more content for you, but it also makes our dearest mothers very proud. Till next time, go do something awesome with your day and I will catch you later.